Good evening and welcome to the November 12th Methacton School Board meeting. Please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, by way of announcement, the board met an executive session following the October 22nd school board meeting here at the high school. At that time, we continued our discussion on the conditional use hearing matter before the Worcester Board of Supervisors, and we also discussed a potential litigation. In attendance this evening is all board members with the exception of Maria Shackelford and Kathleen Barone. Right? Moving on to board actions. We have one board action this evening, a wonderful board action where we, as seen in 6.1 here on the agenda, do I have any public comment on board actions this evening? There being none, move on to 6.1, the appointment to the Board of School Directors and oath of office. Do I have a motion to appoint Brenda Hackett to serve as temporary board member for all scheduled meetings of the Board of School Directors prior to the reorganization meeting on December 3rd, 2013? Mr. Nascimento, do I have a second? Mrs. Woodring? All in favor? Motion carries. Only 6 of us here, right? 1, 2, 3, 6-0. So, now I get to officially administer the oath of office. Brenda, do you want to step forward? This is your seat now. Oh, okay. I know you should have wanted to sit down. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations. Okay, moving on to scheduled speakers and presentations. Dr. Zerbe.
For the November 19th, we are going to be presenting M Awards for the Methacton High School golf and tennis teams for their District 1 championships. We're also going to be presenting Eagleville Elementary Home and School presentation, and we'll have a website update for the policy, from the policy committee, given by Angela Lynch. Although it's not listed on the agenda this evening, we also have an additional presentation from the North Monaco Technical Career Center to come and discuss the advantages and values related to a vocational education for students in the Methacton School District.
And moving on Moving on to voting items for next week, Dr. Zerbe.
We'll have the board meeting minutes approved. We will then also take a look at fiscal items. Mr. Whiteleather?
Thank you. Pretty straightforward stuff. Our monthly list of bills, as well as our monthly treasurer's report. The 2013 audit report will be on for your approval, presentation at Finance Committee meeting this evening. We will also update you relative to our transportation contract. And as well, we will be looking to award our food service contract as updated with the previous board update. So that concludes my report.
And 8.3 personnel, Mr. Harney?
Next week, we have one resignation for your approval. We'll be asking your approval for Maureen Jampo, our payroll specialist, who is moving on. We're closing on that position, the posting of that position tomorrow, so we'll be moving to hire that as quickly as we can. We have 3 personnel change of status. We have 2 personnel uncompensated for your approval next week. We have the extended pay, the extended season pay for our fall coaches for your approval. We also have the list of winter coaches for your approval. There are several vacancies that we're looking to fill at this time, and that will be it. 2 additions to the substitute list.
Thank you. Item 811, programs for the Methacton High School course proposals for 2014-2015 school year. There's a listing of 5 courses from Advanced Placement Spanish to Criminal Justice, Current Issues in Environmental Science, Guitar Ensemble, and Computer Art 3. In addition to that, item 8.12, programs, gifts, and donations. We will ask on the 19th to accept the donation of $1,214.06 to the Worcester Elementary School from the Worcester Township Emergency Fund. The funds can be used for Worcester families experiencing a crisis resulting in financial hardship. There will be no items for no items under policy or other. In item 9, the non-voting items for discussion. I want to give an update on the baseball field project. Certainly, looking at the east or the campus, you can see that the construction on the Memorial Field has begun. Item 9.1, the Worcester Township zoning hearing, November 26, 2013 at 6:30 p.m. This is the hearing for the baseball field scoreboard approval. We appreciate the support of the community in helping us get that approval. Item for Memorial Terrace Field, we were approached by the Mascaro family just about a week ago, asking if they could donate an additional $40,000 to place a memorial terrace adjacent to the Farina Center parking lot for the purposes of spectators and memorializing the field in honor of Robert Childress. So we will be providing drawings and additional information on that particular item on the 19th. And last part of 9.2, I will be presenting on the 19th an update to my entry plan. Currently, as it states, the entry plan is now live on the website. I will be providing regular updates. Currently in phase 1 of the entry plan, working with scheduling focus group meetings, not only with Shannondale, Meadowood, but Lower Providence Library, as well as many other organizations. So I look to provide an additional update on that on the 19th.
Thank you. Excuse me, thank you. Moving on to other business. Any business, new or old, from the board? There being none, moving on to courtesy of the floor. Mr. Andrews.
Good evening. John Andrews, Lower Providence. This evening I'm going to talk about changing the Methacton mantra. Methacton's mantra in recent years has been spend money and home values will show it. Not true. Wisely should have been added after spend money. I've analyzed the County Planning Commission median home prices report for the last 5 years for 22 towns in the county that have at least 100 single-family detached home sales last year. The number 100 was chosen to get statistical accuracy. For Lower Providence, prices are off by 18%. In contrast, Whitpain is up 9%, Upper Providence is up 4%. The other 19 towns were all down. For the entire county, prices are down by 8%. Now, it's kind of obvious that we've gone through an economic crisis that in 2008 and have been in a slow recovery. And I think that 5 years is a fair time to evaluate changes in home prices and some of the factors involved. The major change factors are what and where the new jobs are, or where the jobs were lost, access to jobs, good schools, and other amenities. As I have said previously, lost pharmaceutical jobs are one factor in Lower Providence hardships for homeowners. That's not the only factor, though, since prices were down only 9% in Worcester, the other part of Methacton. The Lower Providence price drop is worse than in any of the 6 adjacent towns. Only 3 of the 22 towns analyzed have higher median price drops than Lower Providence. There is reason for these home price changes, as buyers and their agents usually find the best overall values. In the case of Lower Providence, where schools are under the purview of this board, the years 2008 through 2012 have been pivotal in the numerous changes. These changes including hiring Dr. Quinn, the building of Skyview, a continuation of the high school average yearly progress issue, and the resignation of Dr. Quinn. Hiring Dr. Quinn to be positioned as your CEO was unfortunate because you left out the verify part of trust and verify. We now have a new superintendent, Dr. Zerby, but you on the board must be the active policy makers. Many things must be turned around so as to move the district forward for our students and for our taxpayers. I ask for all directors to step up the tempo. The results of good policy will show up in better education and better home prices. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other courtesy of the floor? There being none, do I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Nascimento, second. Mr. Roth, all in favor? 7-0. We're adjourned. Thank you.